Good afternoon. My name is Tulara Matlaba, the Global Brand Manager for Inscape Education Group, and welcome to Day 2 of our Virtual Open Day. In today's first session, we'll be covering the Business and Communication faculty, which houses our Digital Marketing and Communication course, which will be led by Annika Derman, as well as our Ideation and Design course, which will be led by Paul Gierke. I hand over now to Annika to take us through Digital Marketing and Communication.
Thank you so much, Tulari. Hi everyone, my name is Annika Derman. I'm the full-time lecturer responsible for the Digital Marketing and Communication discipline at Inscape Pretoria campus. Digital marketing and communication is more relevant now than it ever was before. When we think about it, many people will remember the days when we ran marketing and communication through such outdated platforms. We used landlines to call people and had cold calling techniques. We used faxes and we sent marketing brochures through the post. In today's ever increasingly automated world, we are moving more towards digital platforms. In fact, we are inundated by digital platforms. Just think about the social media sites you use, think about the vlogs, the blogs, the websites, not to mention the print media. We have online print media, but we also have offline print media. And it is so important to understand how to reach people and how best to communicate with people on these various digital platforms. Digital marketing and communication isn't only relevant though, it is exciting. So think about it this way. What marketers understand is that no product or service is what it seems to be right up front. In fact, we work with products and services at numerous levels. Let's take, for example, a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee on its most basic level would be a hot, caffeinated drink. But as a marketer, we understand that if we are to sell this cup of coffee effectively, then we need to sell it and we need to portray it for what it really is. And that's what we call in marketing the augmented level. Now, the augmented level in marketing is one of those exciting concepts and one that we'll definitely explore when you join us on the Digital Marketing and Communication course. But a little bit more, little detail about those product levels. Let's take the cup of coffee, for example. Now, we spoke about on level 1, at its core, a cup of coffee is really just a hot drink. But on the augmented level, we know that a cup of coffee might be your kickstart to the day. It might be your source of creativity. That cup of coffee might be what gets you up. It might be what puts you to sleep. It might be the reason you have a good night's sleep at night. That cup of coffee might be the thing that's getting you from one project into the next. So that is what essentially we want to sell. That is what drives marketing, and that's what sets one good advert apart from a boring old one. But you're not here today to learn about marketing. That's what next year and the year after that is for. Right now, you want to know about Inscape's Digital Marketing and Communication course. So let's get right to it. The Digital Marketing and Communication course in your first year focuses on a range of subjects. Of course, you'll have Marketing and Communication 1, where you'll explore concepts such as branding, you'll explore concepts like public relations, you will look at market analysis, and at understanding how one target market might differ from another, and how you want to really reach those target markets. Marketing and communication. You'll also have English, you'll have a photography module, you'll have a media studies module, a design thinking module, a design impacts module, and many more. But in your first year, the idea is really to expose you to the industry, to equip you with marketing skills, communication skills, digital skills, as well as design skills. You'll be equipped with various computer applications modules. You'll learn to work with Photoshop, Illustrator. You'll also work with Excel and various other platforms. In your second year, of course, you'll continue your focus on marketing and communication, but in your second year, you'll have a greater focus on digital communication and digital marketing. You'll explore further computer application subjects, digital applications of marketing, digital applications of communication, but also some very interesting new subjects. You'll look at consumer behavior, which is my personal favorite. Consumer behavior will help you understand why people do what they do, why people relate better to some advertisements than they do to others, why some platforms have a greater reach than others. You'll explore what the purchasing cycle is. You'll understand really why consumers behave the way they do, thus consumer behavior. You'll also look specifically at statistics, look at a bit of the logic behind marketing. You'll learn to work with data, and you'll learn to interpret data as well. Another exciting part in your second year is, of course, job shadowing. And what we love about job shadowing is that it really expands your horizons. Our students leave and go onto job shadowing and come back people who are insightful, people who have industry understanding, people who have extended their networks both professionally, creatively, but also academically. Now, job shadowing might be in a range of fields, but for marketing and communication students, you'll want to work within that industry specifically. In your final year, in your third year, your marketing and communication focus will continue, but you'll also branch out a bit further. You'll take business-related subjects, you'll have a look at entrepreneurship as well, and that's really to equip you to enter the market confidently and with a broad skill set as a strategic thinker, a problem solver, as well as a strong marketing and communication graduate. Before your graduation, though, you will complete a final project. Now, a final project is one of those incredibly exciting, but at the same time daunting tasks. A little bit more about the final project. You will identify an industry-relevant topic, one that is, of course, academic, but also one that you're excited about and one that you've done a bit of research on, one that you feel with your lecturer's guidance and with the academic material available to you, as well as with your background from guest lecturers, job shadowing and industry days, you will address a problem and suggest a marketing and communication digital solution to the problem that you've identified. And that final project is stretched across a couple of months. You'll see it has a research arm to it, it has a practical arm to it. Overall, it's a project that the students are always excited to engage in and excited to present. Let's talk about the entry requirements for the digital marketing and communication degree. You'll want to focus on English and maths, or on English and maths lit if you have maths lit in matric. For English, you'll need 50% to enter the degree. For maths, 40 or higher, and if you have maths lit, you'll need 60% or higher for the degree.
Thank you, Annika. And now for Ideation Design, Paul Gierke.
Thank you, Tulari. My name is Paul Gierke. I'm Ideation Lecturer at Inscape in Cape Town. So what is ideation, you might ask? Well, believe it or not, when I started lecturing ideation, I didn't know either. Ideation, as you'll discover through this journey over the next 15 minutes, is a very interesting subject, which is not one that many are familiar with. Sure, you've heard about the terms Fourth Industrial Revolution, design thinking, the gig economy, all of those different new IT terms that come with innovation and the future. And things are changing at a rapid rate. When 5G hits our shores, they're going to change even faster. So how do we get ready for this next wave? How do we prepare ourselves to be in the best possible position to take advantage of the many opportunities that this new revolution has to offer? Best of all, how do we become part of shaping this revolution and what it will look like in terms of a South Africa in an African context, or South Africa as a global player? Let's think about this for a second. You sit at home, it's lockdown, and you're watching the news. You're reading your favorite Instagram account or YouTube channel, and you hear the latest news through social media. Okay? When the president speaks, your ears perk up. It's 8 o'clock in the afternoon, and he tells you yet again of all the regulations that do not make sense. You think to yourself, but you know what? If this was me, I would have done this differently. I wouldn't have said that. I might have even come up with different ideas as to why the process could work. When this process is set out, somebody had to think of the different steps and regulations that we have to follow in COVID-19 South Africa. When we follow these regulations, we question them because we say to each other, this does not make sense. This wasn't thought through. Who came up with this? As an ideation lecturer, it is my privilege to help you understand where all of these ideas come from, how to work them into workable solutions to better society and South Africa as a whole. If you're the type of person that walk down the street, you look at buildings and you think to yourself, you know what, that could have been designed so much better. Or you use an app and you think, if only this had an extra feature where you could possibly do something more productive. Maybe you're even playing a game and you're thinking, you know what this game needs? It needs that extra something. You know what it is, but how do you sell your idea to different people that might not be in the same wavelength as you? The answer is ideation. Ideation follows a set rules and procedures in order for you to get from concept or thought at the very beginning all the way through to implementation. It is a very exciting venture, and although many people have ideas, not everybody has the skills to see them through. You may ask yourself at this point in time, but I'm not a programmer. What does it help if I think of a new app? I'm not a filmmaker. What does it help if I think about a new technique that films could be made? Well, I'm not a financial planner. I have an idea how the bank could be more effective, but I know nothing about business. The good thing about ideation is that you don't need to. Ideation is research heavy, meaning that you have to do a lot of research to identify a problem. Then, through a set of creative exercises, you come up with a way in which this issue could be addressed successfully. Once an idea has been worked through thoroughly and we reach the implementation process, we hand it off to a different department. For instance, if you come up with a design for a new app, you will do the layout, the wireframes, you will use software like XD, but you will fully work the concept to a point where it's a workable prototype. You will not be doing the code behind the app. You have to, as best as you can, present the functionality, after which it will be handed over to programmers. The programmers then have to take your idea and make it a reality. The same goes for the banking industry. You can begin to see how, with the change and the disruption that's going to happen in the fourth industrial revolution, every single company is going to need creative people to help them steer this uncertain time that we're all going in. It is the creatives that will find the best possible way for these companies to move forward. Every business then, as they will soon see, would be in need of an ideation specialist. The work opportunities in this field are limitless. My class specifically last year graduated with very high marks, and they all had job offers. Why? Because at Inkscape we do things differently. I had people from the industry sit in on their final project presentations, after which they wanted to employ them based on the skills that they had shown throughout their presentation. I've also had industry days where people come and see what their final projects look like and then network with the students themselves We're the only institution in South Africa that actually has a fully accredited ideation degree. If you're somebody with a lot of imagination and you think about a lot of things, you have answers for things, but you're not so practical and you cannot always implement, then this degree is for you. The implementation is off to specialists. The idea in ideation is what you'll be good at. Let's look at one of my students' works from last year. Jessica LaRue came up with the idea of a Medibox. How she came up with this idea is that she identified a problem that needed a solution. The problem was the inaccessibility of primary health care to rural communities in the Western Cape. What does that mean for their income? What does it mean for caring for their families? What does it mean if for some reason they went to the doctor and the doctor didn't have the medication on hand that was needed for them and they have to go back for a follow-up? So Jessica did her field work, she did her research, she came up with ideas. We had post-it notes all over class with her ideas, and we refined it, we worked it, and at the end of it she came up with a product called Medibox. Medibox is a solution that gets rid of the distance between healthcare providers and poor, underdeveloped communities. So how does this work? You simply go into the site that has the virtual consultation room. You start this computer and a calendar pops up on the screen. You choose your date and time that you're available and that a healthcare provider has an availability, and you are provided with a token on your cell phone through an SMS. When the date and time arrives, you simply come back to the consultation room, enter that token code, and the healthcare provider will be on the other side of the screen. You then have 15 minutes to talk about your ailments, and the doctor will dispense something from the vending machine. They will have access and control over the vending machine, so they know exactly what's available. And they will pair the medicine up with your symptoms in order to get you the best and possible fastest results. Then they will provide you with another virtual token on your cell phone, which you go to the other side of the container with. You enter it on the vending machine, and then your medicine is dispensed. This way, there'll be no dispensing of medicine illegally, and they don't have to travel. This could all be done in 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the length of your consultation. And that's a massive difference from 3, 4, 5, or even 6 hours out of your day. That's just one of my students. The other students had everything from how to make friends with your neighbors through gamification. Another one had financial education for teens through an app that teaches you about investments. All of these things have massive income potential and could possibly create a new industry or a career for you. What are you waiting for? Make the right decision for yourself. And if not for yourself, talk to your friends about it. Because everybody has that dreamer in their group that seems like they don't have their feet on the ground. But you know what? There's a place for them. At Inkscape, our ideation degree gives them that place and that platform to live out their creativity and to make the world a better place. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear from somebody in the industry.
Hi everyone. My name is Dean Bellingen and I'm from a company called Byte Orbit. You can see our logo over here. Byte Orbit is an innovation design and development agency based in Cape Town, South Africa. We work with a number of different clients, ranging from retailers to banks and other financial houses. And we work across a number of really exciting projects, particularly in the innovation space and in the design and software development space. So we essentially assess assist companies in understanding problems that they're facing. So it may be problems that they're facing in acquiring clients. It may be product problems in terms of not being able to help clients with things that they need help with, and really any problem that these companies are experiencing and that can be solved through digital means. So we work with them in terms of understanding these problems, exploring opportunities in the space, and also then ideating around potential solutions, designing these solutions, testing them in the market, and then ultimately developing them and launching them for these clients. So really the whole offering from conception of idea all the way to building it and taking it to market. So my role at the company is the incoming head of product. So I look after the whole product team that essentially looks after the product from inception all the way to launch. So there are teams of product designers, which are essentially the researchers, the ideators, the problem solvers, very much like the ideation stream at Inkscape. We then also have a team of designers, which look specifically at designing beautiful user interfaces for our products of our clients. And then the product owners, which are essentially the custodians of the development of the products, really work with the developers in terms of taking the work that the product designers do and then pushing it through development and actually building it into a product that you can actually use. And then lastly, the Scrum Master role, which is the champion of the Agile process and that looks after the development teams in terms of following the Agile process and making sure that we are being as efficient and as productive as we can be from a development perspective. So the need for innovation and ideation is one that has become increasingly important over the last 10 to 20 years. As you know, I'm sure the word innovation is a buzzword and you see it all around, but I think at its core is that the world is rapidly changing and customer needs are changing, business needs are changing at such a high rate that we really need to keep up with these ever-changing needs and ever-growing needs. And the only way to really do that is to be at the forefront of innovation and to understand things like customer problems and apply methodologies like those that you learn at Inkscape, for example, design thinking, ideation, and all the other ancillary processes and tools that you use in order to solve these problems. As you know, the world also faces unique challenges, and I think this year's, if anything is to go by, has really brought new challenges to the fore. And the only way in which to tackle those is by using frameworks and methodologies that really produce real-world results and efficient solutions to these problems, and in a methodical and researched way. And that's where innovation and ideation plays such an important role, and where it needs young minds and capable minds coming into the space. And I think that's why at Inkscape, you as students that are really getting exposed to the concepts in innovation, as I said, things like design thinking and ideation, research methodologies, are really at the forefront of learning about these things and coming into the workplace are really nicely positioned to start tackling some of these problems and work with teams that are solving these problems. There are a lot of students coming into the professional worlds like lawyers and accountants and doctors. But what's really lacking at the moment is critical thinkers, problem solvers that can come into the space and really sink their teeth into these problems and start coming up with solutions, but backed by a theoretical understanding of the methodologies that we use and what makes problem solving so efficient. So as Inkscape students, I really encourage you to explore opportunities in the field, and there are many, whether it be in the digital space, whether it be in any industry really. Terms like design thinking and innovation are really coming to the fore, and a lot of companies are making space available, and companies force for you to delve into those spaces. So I really encourage you to look at the industry, see what's out there, and reach out to us at Byte Orbit if you have any questions and want to understand the space a bit more. It really is an exciting space, and I wish that I had been in a position to study at Inkscape. Unfortunately, it wasn't. The course wasn't around at the time that I was studying, but we have a few Inkscape alumni working at our company at Byte Orbit, and they've really come in being able to hit the ground running and are doing amazing things. So all the best, and reach out to us if you'd like to know more. Cheers, Dean.
Thank you for tuning into our Open Day. I hope you've enjoyed my talk and that I've given you some information to think about. Please take part in our next Q&A session for any questions that might have come up during my session. And I hope to see you next year for a very exciting ideation course.
Thank you very much for joining us today. Once again, if you want more information, please visit our website at www.inscape.ac, visit our virtual open day page, where you will find student work, you will find more content videos to give you a deeper understanding of what was covered today. You can also find us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at We Are Inkscape. Remember, 2021 is around the corner. Get in. See you soon.